Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. I should bring back a theme song. Good morning and welcome to the Quilting Shed here in Fredericton, New Brunswick. If you are new and tuning in, boy, have we got a show for you. I'm Bob the Tomato. No, I got a lot to cover. It's not in my notes. My notes literally look like this. But the stacks next to me are stacked up. Um, First on my list, there we go. Whoops, there we go. Tons of quilts behind me. Um, Nobody's commenting yet. Where's my mom? Where's my mom? Sometimes my mom tunes in and she shows up in the comments. So, um, normally on Wednesdays, I show you all the new stuff that's coming, all the things that you may wish to buy, things you need to know, classes, last minute things, or what's new since last week. This week, we've got something a little different. We don't do this very often, usually right before Christmas. But today, I'm going to ask you to donate some quilts. There we go. Some of these are my own quilts I've picked out for sale, but some of them I'm definitely going to pull off this shelf and donate. And what we're donating to is some hurricane relief efforts. I'm sure you know that a hurricane hit the lower U.S., lower southern U.S. states, like landed in Florida, went up, through Georgia, Tennessee, the Carolinas. It wasn't the hurricane per se, but the rain and the flooding and storm surges and everything after that. If you've been watching any of the news, you will have seen. Sorry, I got distracted. You will have seen just utter devastation and destruction. And here's where I'm going to tell you a slightly long story. Thank you, Half Made Homemade, for letting me know my comments are working. Here's what I'm going to tell you slightly. Years and years ago, you've heard me mention this before. I used to work in tech. I used to work at a fairly large company, more than 50 people, maybe less than 150. I don't think it ever hit 100, and I don't think it ever met everybody. It was a bunch of smaller companies that decided to band together to offer all of their services under one roof because they were all related to web development, internet businesses, that kind of thing. And I worked the job remote, and I had a friend who actually worked there, a friend who's local to me, and she worked there, and she's like, I got to hook you up. And we kind of traveled in the same circles online. So the person that she actually worked for kind of had heard of us anyway. So that was the whole start of that. And then everything joined together and more new people came. Anyway, long irrelevant parts of the story. So I worked with my friend Rebecca, who still lives in New Brunswick, of course. None of us work at this company anymore. And we met, they brought in a lot of employees, and one of them was our friend Jet, who is from the Alabama region. Southern ladies. My friend Rebecca is originally from Louisiana, moved to New Brunswick, which seems like a weird kind of shift, but if you know the cultural background, not that terrible, not that terribly out of character. I mean, the traveling between those sections went a long way anyway. So yeah, me, Rebecca, Jet, we all worked at the same place remotely, which was funny. We did similar jobs, similar related kind of. We each had our own thing, but yeah. So we kind of we worked like directly together. Was I a manager by the time? No, okay. I didn't wind up managing any of them. I think they moved off into different departments and then out of the company together by the time I did kind of management type stuff. So anyway, so Jet is from Jet's from Memphis, Tennessee. Actually, I had to go look it up. I couldn't remember, but she lives in Bama now. And if you've been watching all of the states in that area, there's like the Western Carolinas is pretty much flat and devastated. I was looking at a map of road closures, and I'm like, you can't go nowhere. You can't go nowhere. But Jet likes to help people. She's a fellow Aries like I am. Her birthday is 4 days, 3 or 4 days before mine. We have almost the same birthdays, and we're both mouthy and like to get shit done. And oops, we like to get stuff done, and we have big ideas. So yeah, we're like brain twins on this one, and we're the kind of friends that we could go a whole year and not talk to each other at all, but hit each other. How you doing? You doing all right? I saw this post of yours the other day. You sound whatever. Or hey, that time you told me about XYZ? Do you know who I can hook somebody up with that? That's the kind of friends you need. Just you can just drop in, drop out, whatever. I know if I was stuck in a plane or at an airport anywhere near her, I could just ping her and say, Jet, could you come rescue me? She totally would. I would do the same for her. It's that kind of deal. And I would eat so much butter. Um, anyway, look, 6 minutes in, I haven't gotten to my point. So Jet asked if I could help because she thought of all of these people who are basically homeless. It's flat, it's flooded, it's full of detritus and water and God knows what else, or a mountain slid into it. They got nothing. And it's not just a little bit of people, it is a lot of people. I've heard this referred to as Appalachia's Katrina. If you remember how bad Katrina was for New Orleans, um, it's that bad all over Appalachia, which is the sort of name for that area of the US where the Appalachian Mountains and Valley are. And the more I have found out about that region of America, the more I realize the rural parts in Appalachia are a lot like New Brunswick. And those Appalachian Mountains go clear from down in Alabama and Tennessee. Though that Appalachian mountain range comes all the way up to New Brunswick. If you look at a map and look at the topography, those mountains come all the way here. So it's a mountain trail that we are going on. And I say mountain trail because this is such a grassroots effort. It is literally going from person to person. I will be gathering quilts. This is what I do. If you have a gently used quilt or a new quilt that you are looking to donate, any size, any topic, any color, we don't care. It will find a good home. I'm not looking for a lot. I asked Jet for a limit, and she's like, whatever I can fit in my box SUV and a trailer. So whatever I can fit in a car, because I'm going to hand some to my friend Rebecca. Rebecca's going to take it over the border. I'm a bit fuzzy on the details, but she might meet somebody else there. It may or may not get mailed down. It may get driven down. It's going down to Alabama. Jet will pick it up. And then Jet will take it to a mule train. And I mean a literal mule train. It is not a cutesy name. It is an actual organization where they have pack mules. They are putting things on pack mules and walking the mules and riding the mules into these areas that are devastated, like apocalyptically. And I did read this morning that the big organizations, the FEMA, the Red Cross, there are pockets that they're not even out to yet. They're hitting the areas, of course, where there are more people. These are the sections where there are less people. Still a huge need, still as bad as everywhere else. Remember when Hurricane Arthur ran through here? And I know I had no power for a week because the power company had to put power on for everybody, and they hit the highest populated areas first. And literally where the power was out, it was like 4 houses. So it's like we were way down that list. Now can you imagine if your house was flat on top of that? If somebody could just literally ride up to your patch of dirt where you're trying to make camp out of your destroyed belongings and says, here's some water and food and a quilt from Canada just to keep you warm at night. Yeah, I'd cry. I like to make people cry, and I like to do good things in secret. So if you have a quilt that you were looking to donate, I got a bin right here. I've got quilts in it already. I got some quilts behind me I'm going to pick out. And that's 10 minutes. So that's my friend Jet. I will post more about this later. There's going to be a really quick turnaround time on this because Jet's leaving the country. Jet is jetting off at the end of the month. I have some things that are going to be highly distracting for me in the middle of the month. So I'm giving maximum 2 weeks, and then we are pushing what we can out the door. For those of you who have already been asking if we're doing donations this year for Christmas, we will. So if you can't donate this round, honestly, there's going to be another one coming up because there's always a need out there somewhere. And if you can't donate at all, just pass on the word. Pass on the word. Give what you can. I'm not asking anybody for more than they can give. Please don't hurt yourself. So that's that. Just, a quilt, anything, I'll take it. It has to be finished. That's my only stipulation. It has to be finished because this is a quick turnaround. We don't have time. We just want to get these in people's hands as quickly as possible. And like I said, literally going to be on a pack mule, walked into these areas. That's how bad it is. On to better things. So there we go. So what do we have due? So yesterday after 3:00, we actually had a delivery. I know. And the cutest fall fabric showed up. I am not sure of the price point on this one, but you know what? I'm going to make it. I know what I paid. How about that? I know what I paid. So let's call this $10 a meter. Ah, look at this. The cutest pumpkins ever. If you thought that was cute, I'm sitting at my table today. There is this lovely stripe. It's slightly wonky. I love it. Fantastic bindings, little skinny borders on things. You can do amazing things with stripes. Everybody's scared of them, but they're fun. These are all coordinate, by the way. This little print that looks like knitting. Cozy fall sweaters. Oh my God. Could you see one of those like sweater blocks made out of this? Oh, I don't need another project. Oh, I have a pattern in my own collection for paper pieced ugly Christmas sweaters. So if I made them out of fall, it'd be a nice fall sweater. I do not need another project. And then finally, the same pumpkin print on white. So lots of pumpkins, lots of squash, lots of gourds, lots of fall autumny goodness. So the other fall autumny goodness that we have going on, you'll see the decor change. I've already started swapping things out. Tweedside Road, the gift shop, is practically across from me. They are having a spooky season kickoff on Sunday, 12 to 4. We are going to try and to be open just to see if we can get some spooky fans to come over and buy some spooky gothic fabric. As long as I'm feeling up for it, because it's a busy week. So it's yeah, we'll be open for a bit on Sunday, I think. 12 to 4. Just join in the spooky events at Tweedside Road too. And shout out to them. It's a fun day. We're all over the place. Speaking of fall, then we were. I was working on this runner, which I can't show you because I took it home to work on. So we have a kit for this runner right here with the pumpkin truck fabric. The kit is $30. So we have that, and the sample is coming. I wanted to show you a bunch of kits we had because we've been making up kits in the background. You guys, you love your kits. The Christmas Forest, pardon me, 3-yard quilt pattern. And we've picked out 3 1-meter pieces of fabric, lovingly coordinated just for you to make this fantastic Christmas quilt. Kit, $45. Make you a quilt top. It's pretty darn good. So let's say you're into Christmas. Very Merry Christmas, this bear panel and all the fabrics to make this quilt and the pattern. $110. Got one of those. Look at that bear. Isn't he cute? Who doesn't love a Christmas quilt? And this one, I have the finished quilt up for display on the wall. This, looking at you, this bug jars. Like, how adorable is that? The jars, like mason jars, but they got bugs in them for your favorite kid. This is $130, and all the fabrics you need to make this quilt top are in this bag and the pattern. No thinking needed. Don't have to figure it out. Don't have to pick the fabrics. Don't have to You have to read the pattern and assemble the quilt top, but you know, the other bit is oh, that's funny. Sorry. I accidentally turned Siri on. Now my iPad is like, we don't know. Something went wrong. Please try again." No, goodbye, Siri. I don't have my technical help here today, so everything is just all over the place. I didn't bring any of the Darcy stuff. Darcy's class on slow stitching and her slow stitching kits that we'll have in that class that is coming up on October the 10th. That's only like 9 days away now. So please sign up on the website on the classes page. You'll see the slow stitching. The kit is included in the class price. So all you have to do is I think all you have to do is really just bring your nice hand sewing needles and some lunch. We'll just sit, have a nice calm day, and Darcy will show you how to enjoy handwork. That is why Darcy is teaching this class. I know. I want to talk about all these things separately because I know in one video it's a lot. It's a lot. And I posted yesterday about some panels that we had in stock that were very low in stock, and one of them went already. I meant to schedule that post, but it posted right away instead. And then somebody showed up 2 days later, like, "You just posted about this panel. I need to buy it." Okay, great. So the Santa one is gone, that really pretty one. Yeah, they're all gone. I can't get any more. No, they're gone. Too late. You missed it. And I have one left of this spooky house. One left. Whoever buys it first gets it. You can buy it online if you are really anxious to make sure that you have it. Link down below where it says the quilting shed. This is what is it called? Spooky Night. So if you go to my website, you type in Spooky Night, this panel should show up and you're like, add to cart. Check out. Yes. Then it's yours. I put your name on it. There we go. What else is new? So our favorite shop helper, Susan. Susan comes in on Saturdays. She's extremely, extremely helpful. She had a little zippered bag in here. She's like, "I need to make another one of these for a better sample." So she did. Look at this little boxy bag. This is a free pattern online, which I know I still need to put a little label on here with the web address so you can go visit it. But she used the Jelly and Jam mini charm packs to make this, because how cute is that? Look at this. It's adorable. And she's like, "I just do the straight line stitching. It's nothing special." But look at that. She made that. It's nice. She did a great job. Susan does an awesome job, and it just used one of these. And that was a free pattern. And look it. Put a little zipper in. So you get to see that. And that's what that collection looks like when you sew it together. Snowy made me a sample last night too. We have a bunch of this panel right here. It has the pumpkin and a ghost and a cat, and there's a bunch of these long rectangles. We were like, "What do you do with this?" And customers like, "What do you do with this?" And I'm like, "Oh, mug rugs, placemat." So we made a little placemat sample, and we thought it was perfect. So you could put your utensils and things here and you still see it. And then you put your plate here and you never see what's under the plate. And one of the blenders that we have matches this really nicely. And we just quilted it simply. And Snowy doesn't sew or doesn't quilt. Snowy doesn't quilt. And look at this, it's quilted. Yeah, cute little placemat. That panel I think is only $10 too. You can see that on our website. And look, we've even quilted outlines around this pumpkin. Didn't even bind it. You do the method where you put the right sides together with the batting, and then you sew most of the way around it. You turn it right side out. That super quick. We did that after supper. Some things I forgot to show you last week. I know. I think I forgot to show you the Hometown Holiday charm packs came in. I think I did forget to show you that. So this is the Lori Holt. It's her Christmas collection. It's not very Christmassy, but it still has some Christmassy prints in it. It's like a subtle country Christmas. It's cute. I mean, it's Lori Holt. It's you like Lori Holt? It's Lori Holt. It's good. And we do have some matching yardage. So there's that. We have some boho hand sewing needles in. We have some of the regular ones that we've kept in stock. They're in a bin, and we put price tags on them. We just haven't hung them up yet. And speaking of a bin, last week I said to myself, Self, now you have room to put on a display of some sorts, or at the very low effort, at least amount of thing you could do is here's a bin of everything I showed on the video this morning. And I did that last week. And then I had to clean up some stuff like 2 days later. Someone in the comments and watching along is laughing because she was here. I cleaned up everything and I had to take care of some other inventory. And I'm like, there's a bin of stuff. I'm going to put it all away. I was in putting away mode and I put away the bin of stuff. And then a couple of ladies, you know who you are, came in and was like, you know what you should have? You should have a bin or something or a display of things that you just showed, that you showed on the video. And I'm like, I am an idiot because I did that. And then I went and cleaned it all up because I was in a cleanup mode. So if you see me start to clean that up, smack my hands. Just you two ladies who know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so this will be in the bin. These packages of 20 sewing and long darner needles. So I think that's the same in both packages, but the packages are pretty and there's a good assortment of 20 needles in here for all $10. Look at that. It's very pretty. Nice hand needles. You could use something like these in the slow stitching class that we have on October the 10th with Darcy. I know, right? Just putting that out there. That is a Thursday. It is through the day. Apologies to all you working stiffs. It's okay. I'll be working too. The other thing back in stock are the alphabeties for labeling the sections of your quilts projects as you're working on them. And these are especially useful if you are following a pattern that labels their fabrics in the same way. Cut fabric A, put that in a pile, and this has got letter A's in it, and you put that on your fabric A. So you don't have to keep looking at the pattern. Which one did I say was fabric A? Or like try to put a sticky note, just one of these. I mean, they're not sticky, they don't pin, they're not magnetic or anything, but they'll help you label what the heck's going on with your pattern. They're back in stock because you're probably going to lose one. And last week when I did the video, I turned around and looked and went, oh, I forgot to show this. And it was literally right in front of me. I got this on clearance from my supplier. They only had 2 left. So I bought the last 2 they had left and then I put them on sale just for you. It is a giant pom-pom maker. Look at it. It makes these big ass pom-poms for $7 and it's got directions on the back. When I was a kid, I had to make these pom-pom thingies out of cardboard. I still have the cardboard templates because they're in my grandma's cardboard template box of quilting templates. You could use one of these sort of semi-quilting, sewing related. It could happen. But yeah, if you need to make a really big honking pom-pom, I know when they get this size, cardboard ain't going to cut it. My Southern's going to come out here in a minute because I keep thinking of Alabama. Jet, if you're watching, I love you. Sorry for butchering your accent. She's got the biggest, toughest heart, I got to tell you. It occurred to me years later that this is what they were talking about in Steel Magnolias. Spine of steel, heart of gold. Sweetest Southern drawl you ever heard. Anyway, yeah, so we're just going to send some quilts down on pack mules. So if you have the like quilt pouncer things, back to business. Yes, I took my medication. Thank you. Back to business. I have the Ultimate Pounds Powder refill. I don't know if I think I have some of the pounce, you know, the chalk thingies with the pouncy sponge and you pounce. It says pounce, but you really just kind of rub it because if you pounce and you got chalk dust everywhere, your asthma starts acting up, you're sneezing all over the place. But I do have the refills because eventually it does run out. And the refills were actually only 12 bucks. That's a lot of chalk powder. Feel like you could get together maybe with an elementary school. Do they use chalk anymore? I have no idea. The Perfect Piecing Foundation Sheets. If you are awesomely into paper piecing like I am, I ordered a bunch of this. You just run it through your printer to put the lines on because it actually works. It is better than using printer paper. Trust me on this one. You will save yourself a lot of frustration by using the right thing, using the right tool. Sometimes you can wing it. Other times it's just better. And this is $18 for 25 sheets. And this is papery paper, not newsprint paper, but this is also great for machine embroidery. It does tear easy. It's not it's like a paper, but it's not vellum, it's not newsprint. It's just like a really thin paper. Hard to describe. And I didn't show you some of the By Annie stuff that we did get in. So the Soft and Stable is back in stock. I don't have the price right in front of me, but multiple sizes of this Soft and Stable. I do have some of the fusible version of this from Pellon, which people say I can feel the difference. It's like millimeters of difference in between the brands. Except the Pellon comes in fusible. You can get fusible one-sided and fusible both sides. This does drive the price right up. So I get it. I get it. I understand. So yeah, we do have the Soft and Stable in the multiple size packages. I just got this like the small and medium to show off to you. But I also got the Project Pack. It has 4 pieces that are 13.5 by 18.5. I keep telling people these would be great for placemats, this kind of weight, for some really nice placemats, especially like Quilt As You Go. And look, there's a placemat on the front. That. I don't have the price on me right at the second, but yeah, if you like, and they're cut to size. You could just like slap some fabric on this front and back, bind it, you're done. I'm all about making the things easier for you, like really, in the end. You use up your stash that way. Just make a bunch of placemats. And if you're like, well, I would, but I don't know how to pick fabrics that coordinate, we are having a class with Brenda Dunsmore on November the 2nd, I think it is. The first Saturday in November. So you can talk to me about that. And I have some By Annie patterns that I didn't show you because I was thinking about doing some of these for classes. So I held them back about telling you about them because I wanted to see if I needed them for something else first. It turns out I went a different direction. The ruler wrap pattern, all the By Annie patterns are $16. This is big. This makes a big, you can make the large one to fit the largest, the large, 24 by 36 mat. The large version of this in the pattern is 68 inches by 27 when open. Crazy. But it will protect your mat and it would be really nice. This one I thought was also good. The smaller organizer. It has a small and large version, but it's to put like all your hand tools and your thread thingies. Look, isn't that cute? In the little vinyl pouches. This is good for traveling or if you have a small space. You can put everything in here, like all your hand sewing stuff, for example. All your basic tools, maybe, everything you're bringing to retreat, or if you're going over to your friend's house, or if you're coming here to the shop for a sew day. Now, we have sew days. You can pretty much come any day in the shop as long as we're not doing something else. You can book it on the website, or you can just call me up. I really would prefer it if you called me at least a day in advance because sometimes we have a lot of deliveries. And we tend to put them in the classroom area. So sometimes I'm showing people, here's our classroom area, and it looks like a warehouse because it's got inventory all over the place. Honestly, it's clean sometimes. One of these days, I'm going to take a picture for the 15 whole minutes that it's clean. and post it so you guys can see. See, it's clean. It looks like a classroom. It looks like learning happens here. But you could buy this pattern, come here, make it, and then the next time you come, you could like bring all your stuff in this, and it's nice and neat and tidy. I am thinking of having the Fridays for sew days be like finish it up Friday. How does that sound? A finish it up Friday. You come on a Friday, you bring your stuff you want to finish up because you just want somebody to talk to or hang out in a nice social atmosphere. Sometimes it's quiet. It happens. I stop talking around 2 o'clock. Um, it's when the meds wear off. Um, yeah, or just you just be like, Andrea, what am I supposed to do here? And what the heck does this pattern mean? And I'll help you figure it out. Sometimes it might be, yeah, that pattern is written really badly, but not the by any ones. The drop zone zippered tray trio. You know what I did? So my husband likes to come in the door and like dump stuff on the corner of whatever flat surface is there. And I got tired of saying, please don't just dump them there. I put a basket or a bowl where he tends to dump things and he just puts it in the basket. You could have a pretty one. It's a drop zone. This is where you put like keys, wallet, mail, whatever. Or if my kid was here, my kid would be saying, or the things that mom always puts down when she's sewing. And then it's like, where did I put my scissors? Where did I put my tape? Where did I put them little clippy thing? Where's my pin cushion? Does anybody know where my pin cushion went? Oh, there it is. Okay. Something like this. You could train yourself, in theory, to put your stuff here so it's readily accessible and you're always reaching for it. That's why I own 2 pairs of stork scissors, because one's near the machine and one is near the ironing board. And on the days where they're both on the ironing board, that's when you know I've just about lost it. Take a stand, the stand-up tote. I need to get another pattern that goes with this. So there's a tote here. Look at the larger one will fit like a, beginner level sewing machine. Like one of the smarter Fafs, you could put one of them in there. And this nice tote that just like pops open and stands open nicely. I need to get this companion pattern called the running with scissors. It's another product. It's another case to hold like your scissors and those kind of tools. And they've designed it so it flips right over and stands on top of this thing. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I was in this mode. There's a few gills where a retreat is coming up. And I was like, these are cool things that you could make at a retreat to take to your next retreat. It's handy. So there's that. And then the other thing I did just for you, because it's fall and I was going through here and I was like, fall. What do I have for fall? Because I had to go to the dollar store and pick up fake leaves. It's a long story. No, actually, I will tell you because it's relevant also to the hurricane and the relief stuff. So the Pfaff head offices, they're owned by a company called SVP International. So it's Singer, Viking, and Pfaff, SVP. Weird. Their North American head office is in Nashville, Tennessee. And where is Nashville, Tennessee? Right in the line of the hurricane that went right up through the east coast of the United States. They have had no power in their head office. So if you have tried to log into any of the Singer sites, the Husqvarna sites, the Pfaff stuff, the MySewNet, I haven't been able to get anything from the MySewNet library onto my Memento cutter because I wanted to cut out some pretty fall leaves and make my own fall garland with fabric using the Memento cutter so I could show you here in the shop. And I haven't been able to do that because I can't log in. I can't log in because the power is out at their offices and some of the technology, if they keep that thing on computer servers and the computer servers are in their head office and there's no power, then that section of the website goes down. That's kind of it in a nutshell. And while I do have some things that I have ordered from Pfaff, they generally come from the Canadian warehouse. If the Canadian warehouse is out, they come from, you guessed it, Nashville, Tennessee. And the billing is all done via the offices in Nashville, Tennessee. So that might be why there's a bit of a holdup in some things that we are looking to get in for the FAF event that we are having October 23rd and 24th. And we're doing like a grand reopening of the shop, and I gotta get my butt in gear to get the stuff out on social media for you. So that's all the fun news about that. Jeannie K just showed up. You're gonna have to rewind when I'm done, Jeannie K, because I covered a lot. But I'm going to finish off here with some nice fall fabrics. And I gotta say, some of you have been popping in to see the new location. Fantastic. I know you love it. I love it. Everybody loves it. But this morning, it's not a but, it's and this morning, I get here early, right? And it's October. And it was very foggy if you were out and about 8:30 this morning. I left my house at 8:30 on Wednesdays. That's normally what happens. I've got the corner unit and it's built up on this end because it was like kind of like a hill that goes down. So then there is units under me. So it's kind of like a second story thing at this end of the building. So, and I have the one on the end. And I practically overlook the valley. And this morning, I'm getting out of my car, I'm unlocking the front door, and I turn and look. And the fog is starting to lift from the valley, and the leaves are starting to turn. And I sat there and I stood there and I went, I've got the best freaking view. Nobody tell my landlord this is the best freaking view. This is the best view almost on the whole street. Like, I should have just taken a picture. I was kind of in a hurry, but I also knew the picture wasn't going to do it justice. And I could see that you could literally watch the little wispy, foggy clouds start to dissipate. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So I do like mentioning those things because I think in this kind of a world that sometimes you just need to stop and notice the pretty things. And that's why we like the quilt, right? We quilt to cope, we quilt for therapy, but we also like pretty things and enjoying the small things in life. Like, don't you love my segues? Like this mini pumpkin pattern, mini pumpkins, using the So Kind of Wonderful mini quick curve ruler. Don't be intimidated by these curves. Do you want me to do like a class on the mini quick curve ruler? You let me know sometime. We don't have to do this. They have a lot of patterns in the mini quick curve ruler packaging. Under the label, it has a pattern for a runner. I have done that class before. Susan and Diane will tell you it's really not all that bad. It helps you sew a nice gentle curve. And you can do a lot with them curves. But yeah, you could go through your stash of oranges. As long as it's orange, it matches. I don't care. I don't care. Stop. Don't angst about it. It's if then you can make a bunch of little pumpkins. You don't even have to put them in this like arrangement. You can just make a little bunch of blocks and make a little pumpkin runner. You're done. Also, this is fall to me. Chickens. Chickens. I say this is a fall quilt. I was digging out some potentially fall-ish quilt patterns. Here you go. Chickens. If you've had chickens and it's fall, you know what I mean. Wonderful woodland from one of our favorite designers, Art East Quilting Company. Yeah, that time of year. All these nice little animals here. Foxes, my favorite. I'm super into foxes right now. Of course, we got the porcupine, the trash panda, the raccoon, Canada's most hateful geese, moose, beavers, coyotes. Don't miss the coyotes from living in the woods. What is this? Oh, deer. Sorry, deer. And a bear. And a bear. This is actually probably a good pattern to have on hand, even if you just wanted one of them. Because you're going to, come on, we're in Canada. You're going to use these anyway if you didn't make this entire quilt. Like as shown, you're going to use these blocks in something. I know you are. It's just how we are. But also very fall. It's got maple leaves in it too. Come on. This is just made from a Bally Pop. Bally Pops is just the Hoffman term for the batik jelly rolls. It's 2.5-inch strips. They fold them flat. It's still jelly roll 2.5-inch strips. But this had nice fall colors, so I pulled it out for, Bonjour, Odette. Je parle français mauvais. Je parle mauvais français. Oui, oui, oui. Okay. Um, I did get this one. Oh, it's $10. I got this on at a good price. It's called Celebration, and I just pulled it out just because it was pretty and it looks very fall to me. Just for inspiration. Just for inspiration for you. So there. So that's some fall patterns that I will have out and around the shop to inspire you for fall. And some new products, and I'm pretty sure we are getting some deliveries today. We are definitely getting a delivery by Friday. One of my suppliers had a sale. Oh, it was bad. Wasn't that bad. I'm not sure how many boxes. Actually, I think the slip does show how many boxes, but again, my assistant is not here and I think took the paperwork home. Okay. Or I'd have to look it up on my computer. You don't want me to do that right now. But anyway, I have 60 bolts of fabric coming on Friday. And then we have a big class on Saturday that's full that I also have to prepare for. So, and then on Sunday, we have the spooky season kickoff. And next Thursday, we have Darcy's class. Somewhere in there, I might eat lunch or something. I don't know. Whatever. Well managed. This is fun. This is fun. This is not tech. And if you missed it at the first, we're doing some hurricane relief efforts. Remember, just find a quilt that's finished. Don't care. If you're about to say, well, I've got a finished quilt, is this one going to be okay? It's okay. Don't care. These people have nothing. We are sending them down to the West Carolinas, basically. I will post some links later. Hopefully, that's my intention, just to give you a little background and do a separate social media post about this particular little project's quick turnaround time. I'm giving you a couple of weeks max, so we can get these shipped to people, and we will be forming a human chain of friends of friends of friends. These are people I know who are in the area. Some of them, like my friend Jet, she isn't affected in the sense that her house is fine, but this is an area she knows. There are people she knows. There are businesses that are affected that she's dealt with before. And like when I say the culture of people down there is similar to us, I mean in the sense of here in New Brunswick, if something happens in Nova Scotia, our first instinct is what do we can do to help? It's the same thing going on because we're all human. We're human, we're quilters, and I've actually been texting with some people who's like, can't believe you're just gonna rustle up some quilts and send them down here from Canada. Yeah, we are. That's what we do. That's what we do. We quilt because we can. So I will chat at you later. I will see you when you come in. I will get together that bin of here's all the stuff that I showed. And you go dig out back, see if you can just find a quilt. If you can't this time, that's fine. There will be another time because there is always a need. And yeah, I really got to get going because it's almost 1:45. I have to clean up this mess. Oops. Okay, bye. Love you.